everyone. I'm Princess Annabelle Devil. Welcome back to Hanson News, where we bring you the news. Today, we're diving into a Bring you the news. The holiday movie season, a time typically dominated by major blockbusters, has turned into a battleground of theatrical politics this year. Disney, long known for its overwhelming control over the box office during peak seasons, is once again under scrutiny for monopolizing theater space. At the center of the controversy is Mufasa, the Lion King, which continues to occupy significantly more theaters than Sonic the Hedgehog 3, despite the latter's impressive earnings and growing popularity. A tale of two films, dominance versus demand. As of now, Disney's Mufasa, The Lion King is showing in over 4,100 theaters nationwide, cementing its place as one of the season's most accessible films. By contrast, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, widely regarded as the season's standout hiatus, constrained to just 3,769 theaters, a difference of over 330 locations. This disparity is even more glaring when considering Sonic's box office performance. The movie has consistently outperformed Mufasa in per-theater revenue, proving that demand for the speedy blue hedgehog far outweighs that of Simba's prequel story. Despite its comparative lack of screen space, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has raced to the top of the box office, earning over $60 million in its opening weekend in North America. Globally, the film is expected to gain even more momentum as it continues its staggered international rollout. Yet, its triumph is bittersweet, as contractual obligations and Disney's theater monopoly prevent it from expanding its footprint to meet audience demand. Disney's long-standing strategy of theater domination. Disney's approach to dominating holiday release windows is not new. Over the years, the studio has consistently secured the largest number of theaters for its films, often squeezing out competitors in the process. This strategy has been a cornerstone of Disney's box office success for decades. 1999, Toy Story 2 premiered in 3,236 theaters over Thanksgiving weekend, breaking records at the time and setting a new standard for wide releases during the holidays. 2019, Frozen 2 launched in 4,440 theaters, helping Disney secure 8 of the top 10 highest-grossing films that year. 2024. Just last month, Moana 2 dominated Thanksgiving with a massive 4,200 theater release, grossing $1,221 million in 5 days and contributing to the highest-grossing Thanksgiving weekend ever recorded. These tactics ensure that Disney films are seen by as many people as possible, maximizing their box office revenue. However, the flip side is that this often leaves competing films with fewer opportunities to expand their reach, regardless of their potential or popularity. The Sonic Dilemma. A film outperforming its circumstances, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, exemplifies the limitations placed on films competing against Disney's monopoly. Despite its overwhelming success in its first week, the film has only been able to add 8 new theaters in its second week, a minuscule expansion compared to what it could achieve if more screens were available. The discrepancy becomes even more apparent when considering showtimes. Not only does Mufasa, The Lion King, occupy more theaters, but it also dominates showtimes within those locations, often receiving prime evening slots. Meanwhile, Sonic 3 has been relegated to fewer and less favorable time slots, further hindering its ability to meet audience demand. Despite these challenges, Sonic 3 has proven to be a box office juggernaut, delivering far more revenue per theater than Mufasa. This suggests that if Sonic were granted a broader release, its earnings could soar even higher, potentially reshaping the holiday box office landscape. Theaters in a bind. Disney's power versus audience demand for theater chains. Disney's films are a double-edged sword. On one hand, the studio's reputation for producing crowd-pleasing blockbusters makes their films a reliable choice for exhibitors. On the other hand, the strict contractual obligations tied to Disney releases can stifle competition and limit diversity in programming. Disney often requires theaters to dedicate a certain number of screens and showtimes to their films for extended periods, regardless of audience turnout. This leaves little room for competing films like Sonic 3 to expand, even when audience demand is evident. Reports suggest that major chains like AMC and Regal are beginning to question their reliance on Disney, especially as non-Disney films like Sonic continue to prove their earning potential. Some industry insiders believe this could mark the beginning of a shift in how theaters allocate their screens, though breaking free from Disney's grip remains a daunting challenge. The broader implications for Hollywood. The battle between Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Mufasa. The Lion King is about more than just box office numbers. It's a reflection of the evolving dynamics in Hollywood. Disney's monopolization of theater space has long been a point of contention among industry players. But Sonic's success despite these constraints has reignited calls for change. Critics argue that Disney's dominance stifles creativity and limits opportunities for other studios to compete on a level playing field. Smaller studios in particular struggle to secure screen space for their films, while even major competitors like Paramount behind Sonic 3 face significant hurdles. What does the future hold? As Sonic the Hedgehog 3 continues its uphill battle, its success underscores the resilience of fan-driven demand. The film's ability to outperform Mufasa, despite being shown in fewer theaters and fewer showings, highlights the untapped potential of more equitable screen allocations. The question now is whether the industry will take notice. Will theater chains and studios work to break Disney's stranglehold on the holiday box office, or will the Mouse House continue to dictate the rules of the game? For now, one thing is clear. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has proven that even in a system dominated by Disney, audiences will rally behind the films they truly want to see. Whether this marks a turning point or a fleeting anomaly remains to be seen, but the Blue Hedgehog's triumph is a reminder that sometimes, even giants can be outrun. Let's discuss in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the latest updates on all your favorite movies.